Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Pteranodon Media's Show and Tell What the Hell. And hey, look, I spared you all from doing another custom, or from showing off another custom figure, and I'm going to go straight to the old school and just show you some new toys that I got, right? But that's another Godzilla. Yes, another Godzilla. So, this is the new... I want to say it's not a Target exclusive, but you can find them at Target. You can get them at Big Bad Toy Store. You can get them at any other places where you find toys online. But this is the kind of stuff that you won't see at Walmart or at Toys R Us because they don't exist anymore. But this is the 1954 movie poster edition of Godzilla, which I found to be very, very interesting. And it shows you here. And I like these boxes, these display boxes, because I can actually have these on display. Put them out at the Pteranodon Media's Sound Tank Studio and just have them up there. It's fun, and they're still like, it's kind of like having like a little stand-up mini poster. So it's fun to have this, but the real prize is what's inside, and that's what's got me all excited, because when I saw this revealed, was it New York Toy Fair or Comic-Con, one of those sometime back, I really wanted to pick this up, and I finally did, and I believe some of you all have, some of the people that I've been chatting with have had nothing but good things to say about this. But look at, yeah, I was just noticing some of the stuff that, you notice things that you don't notice before on posters, like, raging through the world on a rampage of destruction! Godzilla, it's alive! King of the Monster. Like, how many things are they going to have to put to get... Even back then, this is how they really had to push something. You know what's funny? I never noticed that this thing in the back here kind of looks like a Godzilla. It actually looks like... It's funny how that resembles... that's just my imagination. When you're looking at clouds. This kind of, for some reason, to me, looks like legendary Godzilla. But I'll read the little copy here. Spawned to the ocean's depths. It stalks the earth. Does he really? Belching fire that blasts mighty cities into oblivion. A gory Goliath that lives to kill. ... Kills to live. Diabolical demon of destruction. Mightiest monster of them all. Godzilla. And then the bottom. Awesome! And then some. So yeah, let's take a look at the front. 65 years. Can you believe it's been that long? I like this right here. Spectacular thrills, dynamic violence, savage action. And it says here, authentic color scheme, just like the 1956 poster. So yeah, this, I say it's 1954, but it's, in the United States, it was the 1956 release. And what else does it say? Just a bunch of stuff that you could read on your own. More terrifying than anything you've ever... It actually was a pretty terrifying movie for the time. And I think it had to do with the fact that no one had really seen anything quite like this before. So here he is in all his glory inside. Look at that nice little... Like, it looks good. If you want to keep things in package, I always suggest, like, with these Neca packages, to save these. This was one of the best ones I've seen, one of the best window box displays, because I've already started the process of taking them out of the package. I just haven't taken them completely out, but I'm looking at it now and it just looks so awesome. Makes me want to have one on display and one to have in here, but I cannot afford that at the moment. But let's, I already pulled them out. I already used my special box cutting tools. And pulled them out. I forgot that I actually have the tail out, and I may have to pause this if the tail requires any sort of heating up like some of the other ones did. Now I am going to discard this for the moment. I wish I could edit a cat noise in there. And so I've already loosened these up, but I have not removed them, and here he is. And the tail actually comes down here. I just have taken it out. So, in a sense, we are kind of unboxing this together. Y'all like that unboxing stuff? And got a little smudgy here on the tail, but just look at that. Let's try to put this on without having to do the water bit. And is it going to work? Is it going to work for me? Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Nope. Nope. What I'm going to have to do is I am going to take a moment to attach this tail, and I'll be back in just a minute. And it took a little bit longer than a minute, but I got the tail on. Here we go. And yes, it is a bendy tail. Be careful, because if you saw one of my other videos, I actually did kind of break the rubber off this a little bit, but this one did not break. I was very careful, but you can bend it to your will. And yes, his atomic breath is removable. So if you want to have him with or without the atomic breath, it shares the same mold as the regular 1954 Neca Godzilla, along with the, I believe, the Nintendo version of Godzilla, which is, when you see a Godzilla that looks like this, it looks like the quintessential Godzilla, and it has all sorts of fun articulation. Since I haven't reviewed this mold, I might as well go over that now. He's got little jaws. I could talk here. His neck goes like that. He can kind of go up and down here. The bottom portion of his neck, you can do that. They're all on ball joints, so while the plastic hinders the or limits the articulation, rest assured it is on a ball joint for the most part. I think this right here, I'm not sure if that's on a ball joint or not. Let me see. It probably is. This one's on a hinge swivel. And look at me talking about articulation. How adorable. I'm just a toy reviewer, aren't I? So I noticed that some people actually got, I'm lucky, I looked on the package, some people got 2 left feet on some of theirs. I think Matt Frank was one of them. Noticed that on his feet. And it's hard to actually bend the knees here. I don't think they do bend. I don't think they do. If anyone has made them bend, let me know. I'm trying to look for a hinge. There is a hinge there. So if you really want to try to straighten them out, you can. But it doesn't look like they actually will be able to. But that is, I guess it's dependent on the actual design of the monster here. But he also has some waist articulation. So you want to make him dance or do one of the wild and crazy guys. Hey. Fingers also close in as well, but they're kind of rough right now. And yeah, they're a little bit hard to move in. I don't want to break them because they just got a little pin right there. So I'm still going to try anyway. But anyway, that's and his leg, he's got one joint here, another joint. Let's say he's got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you can pose the tail like you want to. Now, I wish there had been at least one more that had more articulation. Now, it's fun to have all these joints, but my experience with these with Neca figures is that they do have a lot of articulation, but are they really articulate? So they have a lot of joints, but they're not very articulate, is probably what I'm saying. I'm not being articulate when I'm explaining this to you, sorry. But otherwise, a very good figure. Now, I'm used to Godzilla figures not being very articulate anyway, or articulated. So that's fine. Now, here's the little box display that you get. And I guess, I don't know exactly, it says right here, cut excess with, cut excess right here. So I'm not going to do that just yet, but I can give you the effect, just the overall. It looks like a nice little. I'm at a loss for words here. I'm trying to rig something here, so I can show you what it's going to look like. But it's supposed to have enough room for the tail to come out at the end right there, and to emulate the look of the poster, which I'm going to work on that. Well, god damn it, guys. Do you want me to do that? Shit. I'm going to have to look for scissors. Fine. La, 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 la. And here we go. This is what I did, and I was afraid to unpause it and actually look online because it would actually cut out the video, and that means I would have to do more editing, and I'm lazy. But I think I got it right. It is said to cut off the excess on the sides, and that's what I did. And I got this. There's these two. This is what's confusing me here. There's this one slit here, and then there's this other slit here. But it seemed to work better when I put this slit, even though this kind of sticks out a bit. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do. So if I'm doing it wrong, please let me know, and I will fix it on my own. So I'm admitting right now that I am being a big bonehead. But here is the display piece. Now, normally, I am not a big fan of these like cardboard little, especially if it's not really a super durable cardboard, or it's not super durable, but it's pretty good, I guess. I kind of like this because with the paint scheme of this particular figure, it really makes it seem like a poster, like come to life. You know, let me put that thing back in his mouth so I can make it, so I could reenact the poster. And I like that idea. I think they didn't really have to do it. Now, I can't think of any, like, I'd like to see some more Godzilla. But I'd like to see the Ghidorah three-headed monster poster, and that's what it's going to look like, to kind of reenact that original. Now, if I can get the hands in a little miniature train or whatever, that would be great. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like, I like some of the liberties that they've taken with the background. I don't know if they went back and repainted this or redid this. It's really interesting work. And I'm looking at some of the... It looks like they just did a real nice heavy Photoshop job. Now, they didn't put the words Godzilla up here. Which confuses me because they did put awesome and then some at the bottom. But I still think it looks pretty damn cool. Yeah. Now, I think one of the things that I think this could have improved with was having... or improved from, or whatever, is having the dorsal fins a little bit more orangey to reflect the fire in the back, you know, and maybe some other little yellow highlights around it. But I think overall they did a pretty good job because they're just using the same mold, so they are limited. They're at the mercy of the actual mold. I'm pretty sure if they did like a exact replica of this particular Godzilla, then the story would be a little different. Now I'm kind of tempted to find myself a little train, like a little model train or something, or try to make one out of cardboard. But I actually kept the little pieces that you cut out just in case. But yeah, interestingly enough, this reminds me of the Imperial Godzilla. So I wanted to take a moment to actually use other Godzillas to put on this display to see what you guys think about that. Huh? Well, this is not going to hold, but pretty cool. You can do that if you want. Reaching out to a Bandai Godzilla here. Which, you know what? This, for some reason, this mold looks a little more... to me, looks a little bit more like the poster itself, like the design. You can actually stick that in if you want it. Kind of just nudge that in there. Pretty interesting, huh? You can do that if you want it. So there's a lot of different uses for this. Now, I wanted to also compare this with some of the other Godzillas as well. The other Neca Godzillas. So we do got your Bandai Godzilla here. You have this particular 1956 poster Godzilla. You have the Imperial Godzilla right there. King Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla versus Kong. King Kong versus Godzilla. About the same size. And let's get Legendary The legend of the legendary Godzilla, also in the picture here. Let's actually put him right here, just to give you an idea of how big this guy is. And he's actually pretty massive compared to the other ones. Maybe it's the posture or what, but the tail is definitely not as long as the other ones. Let's take a look at the tails here. He's got that tail. And there we go. This is by far my favorite tail so far. A tail that stands the test of time. So yeah, that's and if you, this is my, actually this is the first time I have this particular mold. I will be picking up the 1954 Godzilla version. And one other thing I wanted to actually highlight or talk about is some of the, I wanted to highlight the highlights. Nice little touches right here on the feet. I like the dry brushing on this. Very nice. Now, the eyes is another thing that I'm concerned about with the other Godzilla. I don't know how the eyes are going to turn out. Because as you know, even the Bandai got it right, where the eyes are supposed to be looking somewhat this way or down. So I hope that we'll get to have that on the 1954 one. I have not seen it in person yet. I wonder if Target will be carrying that one, but we can only hope. Then again, there is also the Nintendo Godzilla as well. So, let me go ahead and display them one more time so you can take one final look. Is it worth the buy for $27.99 at Target? I say so. If you're a big Godzilla fan, if you like to have some... Now, do you need it in your Godzilla collection? If you want to have something to, like... If you want to have a Godzilla in your collection, and you want it to look as accurate as possible, I'd say pass on this, and go for something, you know, like the 1954, or go for something from the Heisei, Neca, or even go for Monster Arts if you want. But this is more like a, it amazes me. It's like, I was going to say it was for niche collectors, but it amazes me that Target's actually carrying something like this. Seems more like an exclusive to me. So I applaud the boys at Neca for doing something as ballsy as this. It's pretty cool, and I'd like to see more of this kind of approach taken with not just Godzilla, but maybe Friday the 13th or some of the other things. They've already done most of the Friday the 13th Jasons, but and they've also done some video game versions. I'd like to see some movie poster versions of this stuff. Anyway, folks, let me know if you're going to be picking up this guy. Let me know if you have picked him up and what you think about him, because I'd be very curious to know if your opinion differs from mine. If you're really excited about it and you think that I am, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. I can't lie. I like this a lot. I was pretty excited to get this, so I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to play coy. I'm not going to say that, well, it's whatever. This is a pretty damn good Godzilla toy, and I actually was waiting for payday to get this, so very happy about it. Ooh, look at the fire on this guy right here. Anyway, folks, that's it with my Godzilla review. Sorry for making this one a long one, but I felt that this figure deserved at least 10 minutes. Anyway, folks, we will see you later on.